Hey guys, this is John from Archery Country, and today we're going to do my 2020 VXR 31.5 bow build, so you guys can see the accessories that I'm using on my bow and just see what she turns out like at the end. Alright, so we're going to open it up. Again, this is my 2020 VXR 31.5. Basically the first look here. Keep her out of the bag there and everything. So, as you guys can see, I did a black riser with the new ambush green limbs, and then straight from the factory I kept my colors a little more neutral this year. Usually I go kind of bright and wild with them, but this year I just kept the string all black and then had them do variegated orange on all the end servings and on the roller serving there. So not as bright as what most people are used to seeing my bow, but we're gonna throw a little bit more in there with like how I do my D-loop and all the little accessories I put on there anyways. So I'm really digging the colors so far. I think it'll turn out really good. I think this thing looks pretty mean, especially once we get done dressing it up here. I'll let you guys see it. Alright guys, so here's some of the accessories that I'm going to be working with today. The first one that is actually being reused from my last bow is going to be a Montana black gold slider sight. This is their Ascent sight. It's a bigger housing, one that I ran for a couple years. I really like this sight setup. That's always been good for me. The Mathews Integrate or IMX Rest, obviously L for a lefty for me. I'm gonna do for starting setting up my bow here, I'm setting it up for my turkey hunting setup, which I'm not worried about speed or anything, so I'm going to be throwing in a set of 60-pound mods for my draw length, so that bow peaks at 60 pounds. I'll probably end up shooting it a little bit lighter than that just to get my broadheads to fly the way that I want to. Two-piece fixed Mathews quiver. I really like what they did there with all the carbon rodding. Very, very lightweight. I like having my quiver just attached to my bow all the time. This is one that I'm really excited about. The new engaged limb legs. Keep my cam up out of the dirt, especially in the turkey blind or even just shooting in the yard, stuff like that. A set of left-handed engage side plates. I'm kind of torn if I'm going to shoot these or not. Kind of depends on after I shoot with the engage grip for a little bit, but if you don't dig that engage grip that they come with, it's a really nice accessory that a guy can try if you want that back end of the grip to be a little bit flatter. Of course, the silent connect system along with the bow sling so that I can tote that thing around all over the place. And then 365 back bracket for my back stabilizer. I'll probably also put a quick disconnect on the front so that my bow will case the way that I want it to. Alrighty, so the last piece of the puzzle here is going to be stabilizers. Because I have the black riser with the green limbs, right now I have 10, 8, and 6-inch stabilizers. These are the new Micro DVS Stabilizers from 365 Archery. They make them in the green ambush to match the limbs, and then I also have some black ones sitting here. I'm going to kind of put the bow together and see which color I like better. I think that with the black riser, the little green caps on that green stabilizer is going to look really cool. But we'll put it all together here and kind of figure out which color looks better, and that's what I'm basing it off of, if it looks cool or not. So I'll kind of get your guys' opinion on that. Leave a comment below and kind of tell me which way you would have gone. I think I'm leaning towards the green ones, but we'll see how they look when I'm all done. Alright guys, so I just got my sight mounted. I got the easy third level access on here. I had another level on my bracket that goes up and down. So first I just got like my first and second accesses done, and then went through and rotated them and have it so that my third access is also set to the bow. Very important piece of the puzzle. You know, if your third axis and second axis are not set correctly, basically your bow can show you a false level. And if you're hunting in any kind of terrain or even just like longer tree stand shots or steeper angles, if those levels are not on, it's going to drastically affect where you hit downrange. So when you're getting your bows put together, you know, make sure that guys are going through and checking that for you, and then we can kind of go over later how to check that at home and make sure everything's on there for you. So got my levels on, that part's all ready to go. Now we're going to do the rest and, you know, get my D-loop and my peep sight, maybe a kisser button, maybe a nose button, something like that. But if you guys want to see how that's done, keep on watching. All right, so I got my peep sight put in also. And this year I'm actually starting with a total peep. I started with a 1/4 inch size, and I might play with a 3/16. I'll just kind of see what matches up to my housing the best. But you can see the difference in how much longer the cylinder is on this total peep versus like a normal peep. And that's kind of done so that if your string were to rotate, 20 degrees one way or the other, the inside diameter still stays perfectly round. I feel like it kind of clears up my vision a little bit too, so I'm going to play around with one of those here for a few months and see what I think about it. So I'm going to put just a knot around my peep sight to hold it in place, and I'll go through and actually tie that in. So next I'm going to just do a little bit of tuning and kind of see how the arrows are flying to see if I have to make any major adjustments to my top hats. And then I'm going to start putting stabilizers and get my quiver on there, and we'll finish this build up, and we'll definitely show you the finished product once we get a little more tuning done, okay? All right, guys, so again, I got a few more shots through paper. You can see back here, they're pretty clean, but they're not quite perfect yet. The reason I'm spending a little extra time on this side of it is because I'm setting this bow up for turkey hunting this spring. And I'm gonna be shooting this 4-inch 3-blade broadhead for trying to shoot them in the neck or shoot their head off. So if I go through and do my homework and do this stuff now to get the bow set up properly where everything's tuning and flying correctly, by the time I get to go start shooting this downrange, it doesn't take me long to get these flying properly. A lot of people I think get hung up on not shooting this kind of broadhead because we've all had that buddy that just buys them the night before season. He goes out, calls in a big gobbler, and it misses 3 feet to the left because he never tried shooting the broadhead ahead of time. So we got a good month here before turkey season starts. I'm getting everything set now so that by the time turkey season comes in, I'll have these broadheads dialed in at 20, 30, and I'll shoot them closer to, hopefully we get that 7 5-yard shot or so. But I just kind of want to explain why I'm doing it this way, and then next time you see us, we'll be down on the range. All right, guys, so I'll just kind of do a little wrap up here. Again, this is the VXR from Mathews. This is their 31.5-inch axle-to-axle bow. I have my black gold 4-pin sight on there that allows me to shoot 20 through 50, and then I can slide down and shoot anything farther than that if I want to. I went with the 365 Micro DVS with the green. For those of you that commented below earlier in the video, I thought green just popped really cool against that black riser with the green limbs and the green hood, and can't go wrong with a little bit of color. So I got the 10-inch out the front, I have an 8-inch out the back, I have a knuckle/disconnect on front, so when I case it I can take that off really easily. Mathews engaged limb legs on bottom to hold everything up when I'm sitting in the blind or showing the video or showing the bow to you guys in the video now. I got orange serving on my strings. I did some yellow. I'm going to tie my peep sight in with brighter green when I get to that. My lucky colors are kind of like a green, orange, and yellow together, so that's kind of what I try to do on my bow every year. And the years I don't do it, I usually don't shoot much. And the years I do it, I usually end up having a pretty good lucky season. So I'm really hoping for that this year. I'm hoping to start it off strong with a turkey here coming up shortly. I have the Mathews IMX rest on there, that integrate rest, and that's really nice to be able to flip up and hold everything. And then, I don't know if I touched on this earlier, but I have a dovetail on my sight. And it's pretty cool because what I'm doing right now for turkey hunting, I actually am running the 1/4-inch peep, which is a bigger peep to let a lot of light in. And with my housing sucked up really tight to my bow like this, or this is about as tight as I can get it, that 1/4-inch peep matches up perfectly to my housing. So I can just see that whole green ring, not really anything extra. And then as we get into summertime and I start shooting farther, I'll probably actually end up putting a 3/16 size peep in my string and then extending my sight a little bit farther away from my bow. I'd like to have another, 2.5 inches out there. So I just feel like I gain a little bit of precision from that. And when I move that sight away, it looks smaller. So I've got to go down a size in peep sight to match up for it. So that's all stuff that'll happen later on in the year when I retune to the arrows that I'm actually going to hunt deer with and shoot like longer distance with. I guess one thing I didn't touch on that I do want to kind of speak out about is that with like my heavier, slower turkey arrows, it's a 200 grain tip. The arrow with feathers and everything on it weighs like 652 grains. The VXR 31.5, I have it at 28.5 inches and I have it down to like 55.5, 56 pounds. That's shooting a whopping 205 feet per second. So once I retune it and get the higher poundage mods in there with the arrows I'm going to deer hunt with, I'll let you guys know what speed I'm doing then. I have a feeling it'll be about 100 feet per second faster. So yeah, this is definitely the kind of a weird thing to get arrows to shoot this slow after getting used to like shooting faster arrows for deer hunting and everything. But when I finish up these turkey heads, they're going to be flying spot on the money. And I can't wait to show you guys a picture of a turkey without a head again this year. So if you have any questions on this stuff, feel free to comment below. We'll try to do our best to get back to everybody. Or you could always reach us on Facebook at like our Archery Country page and Messenger and stuff like that. Thanks again, guys. My name is John. I work at the Waite Park store. I just wanted to kind of show everyone my bow build. And hopefully you get inspired to do some kind of fun colors or maybe try something new this year that you haven't tried before. Thanks, everybody.